morning. Oh. Okay. These are for a nice stretch. So I'm going to do a few different things today. Particularly, stretching to the legs. It always amazes me how this camera can go so wonky from one day to the next. Okay, that's better. Just making the space a bit more clear to see. So, a little bit further. Okay, right, so next job, share the link. Right, link done. So, I'm going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana. So, blanket, cushion, a couple of blocks, holster for later, strap for later, and hold some of the stretches today for a really long time. Incense just here, all super yummy. So I don't know if any of you burn incense for your classes, but I recommend buying some. Buy it on Amazon. Of course, it's personal preference if you like the smell of it in the first place. I really do. Okay. Let's pop ourselves down. So pillow-founded head. Soften your mat with your blanket, so fold out nice and long. Onto the back. Feet come together, knees open, and then prop the knees with your blocks. Taking your left hand to your heart, right hand to the belly. Closing the eyes. Start to follow the rhythm of the breath. Just observe for now the breath coming in and out through the nose. Feeling the gentle rise and fall of the chest and the abdomen. Just noticing the full breath in. And let the pause as you turn the corner of the exhale begin. And then a natural pause before you take the next breath. So feel the cycle of the breath. Anapana, in and out. Starting to slow the breath down a little, so actively, consciously making the breath in a little longer. Making the pause at the top of the inhalation longer. Then exhaling deeply, so aiming to feel as though you're really emptying the lungs and emptying the abdomen of breath. So less breaths per minute. Just feeling the body starting to relax. And seeing if you have any noticeable tension anywhere in the body. Just scanning the body and see if you can notice any tension. And then consciously seeing if you can send the breath there to that place to soothe and smooth out any tension, any blockages. Starting to feel as though the body is all breathing, it's all breath, so filling the whole body with breath. Full body breathing. So feel as though your belly is like a balloon, filling and lifting, filling with air, and then deflating on the exhalation, letting go completely. So as you breathe in, feeling back ribs pushing against the floor. Feeling the chest expand both sideways to the back and upwards. Maybe even noticing your shoulders rise up slightly towards the ears. So slow, conscious breaths. Noticing the heart rate slowing, the blood pressure dropping, coming into the parasympathetic nervous system, tapping into that. Your thrive state, your rest and digest state. Knowing there's nothing to do at this moment, but just be here and be present in this moment. Simply breathing, focusing on the breath in and the breath out. Nowhere else to be, no chores, no jobs, no to-do lists. Put those all aside. Allow thoughts to rest quietly in the back of the mind. And if you feel distractions by sound, body movement, all the natural things that can occur to distract you and pull you away from the moment, from the breath. And just observe the distraction, being present, and choosing not to follow the distraction. Don't go down that path. Choose instead to refocus on breath. Shine your spotlight on the breathing. Then if you wish at this moment to set an intention, then that would be a good time. Repeat it to yourself silently to inner mind's eye 3 times. I am. Slowly moving your fingers and toes and taking the blocks from out under the knees. Taking the pillow from under your head. I'm going to move around so that you can see from a different direction. You can align on your blanket. So you're going to lie face down onto your belly. Taking the arms wide, palms facing down. Roll the left shoulder down into the mat. So internally rotating the inside, so it's like trying to push your bicep into the mat and the inner crease of your elbow into the mat, into your blanket. And then you're going to start to gently roll over onto your left side, bring the left knee up into a recovery position, so a right angle, and then take the other leg also in 90 degrees to it. So you've got an L shape and an L shape. So the right foot is pushing directly behind. And then taking, if you need to rotate the palm of the left hand up, then do so, and then clasping the hands together behind you, so you're resting on the left side of your head. Roll the shoulder blades towards one another, squeeze them towards one another. Focusing on your breath here. Nice and long and steady breaths. breaths, making the exhale longer than the inhale. So maybe a breath in for 4 and a breath out for 8. Keeping the eyes closed if it really helps you to focus and concentrate. Then take another 5 slow breaths. Now take the right foot into the floor and lift the knee up to point towards the ceiling for the last few breaths, and push that knee away from the other knee, so in the opposite direction of the knee. Just opening up into the hip a bit more. Two more breaths. Last deep breath in. And a slow, steady releasing breath out. Slowly bring the knees together. Planting the right hand down. Now we're going to roll over to the other side. So first rolling the right shoulder down towards the mat. Onto your right side. Right knee comes up. And the other leg into recovery. So both legs in a 90-degree, but the left foot is now, sole of the foot is pointing away in the opposite direction to which you're facing. Clasping the hands together behind your back. Resting onto the right side of your head. So make the neck nice and long. Make sure you've got no tension in the neck. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Opening up through the chest and particularly into the right shoulder now. Keep focusing on keeping those breaths nice and steady. The inhale for 4 and the exhale for 8 if you can manage. And every exhale, letting go. Let's take 5 more breaths like this. Then taking the left foot into the floor, so the knees pointing up towards the ceiling, and pull the knee away from the other knee. One more deep breath in and out. Bringing the knees now down to touch, releasing arms forwards. Coming up. So now we're going to take ourselves into frog. So keeping your blanket there, you're going to use a cushion or a bolster in front. A couple of choices with the feet. You either point the feet directly behind or turn the feet so that they face facing down So the inner foot is onto the floor or pointing the foot back. So it does depend on how your knees feel. So make sure that you listen to the feedback, and there should be no pain in the knees. So sliding the knees apart with the feet pointing directly back, like this or like this. Okay. So then getting your cushion out front to land the chest onto. So using the blanket to cushion the knee joints. So settle down and stay here for a couple of minutes. So only go to that place where it's still comfortable, no pain. So breathing deeply into the hips. No tension in the upper body. Allowing the upper body to completely relax into your cushions. Exhaling, letting go. Sliding the knees further apart if you have more space in the hips for that. But don't take it to any point of pain. Three more breaths. Last deep breath in and out. Bringing the knees together, so leaning forwards onto the belly so that there's no more pressure on the legs. Knees back together. Push yourself up. And take a block for underneath the bottom. Keep your bolsters and cushions ready as we take Upavista Konasana. There we go. Going to stay here for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So make sure you make yourself fully comfortable. So cushions, take a couple of those. So straddling the legs wide. Flexing the feet. And then slowly. So you've got your block underneath your hips to elevate the hips. Reaching the arms forward so you can tilt from the hip creases. Have the belly, the chest land on your cushions. Elbows down. If you need another cushion for the elbows, then prop the elbows up too if they're not reaching down. Palms facing up. And then relaxing into the head, relaxing into the shoulders, completely releasing and letting go. So folding forwards completely. So making yourself really comfortable so you can stay here for another couple of minutes. Really breathing into the inner thighs, into the hips, into any space that feels tight. Closing the eyes and fully focusing inwards. Really follow the breath. The breath in, the releasing breath out. Staying with it for another 5 breaths. Making the exhales deliberately long. As it's on the exhale that you fully release and let go. Relaxing into the shoulders, the arms, the head, the neck. No tension in the face and the jaw. Upper body relaxed. 2 more breaths. Last deep breath in and out. And slowly, when you're ready, using your hands to bring your body upright, nice and slowly. And then bringing the feet together, keep your legs in assistance. Rolling that down onto your backs now as we take a supported bridge. Saying good morning. Good morning, Sue. You've got an echo. Oh, okay. So hopefully everything's okay with the sound. It should be. So rolling down gently onto your backs. And take your blocks underneath your sacrum to support under the back. Or if you have a wheel, you can place a wheel underneath the back for a different kind of supported bridge. This will lift you up as well. As you can see, it's just a little bit higher. So with the block option, bringing the feet a distance apart. If you want to, you can take a strap actually around the legs. Maybe let's do that. Let's take a strap around the legs. So that the knees are hip distance apart. So we can set this up and then stay here for several minutes. Peeling the spine off the mat, driving the hips upwards and popping your block underneath the sacrum. So arms resting into the floor, palms of the hands into the floor. Taking some nice deep belly breaths. So that is one position. Stay there for those of you that are doing the block option. If you have a wheel, then stretch into the back. So rolling the wheel. To the lower back. So this is a lot more intense. Clasp opposite elbows underneath on the inside circle of the wheel. If you need to, you can take a cushion under your head. Just to soften the back of the head into the floor. So whichever posture you're in, Breathe deeply, releasing, letting go on the exhale. Letting go into the shoulders, into the arms. So using your props fully to make any modifications. So for instance, if you want to rest the arms onto something, if you're on your wheel, so a cushion for the underside of the elbow so the arms can relax a little bit more. Nice full deep breaths in and out. Let's hold here for another 5 or 6 more breaths. Checking you're not holding any tension in the face, so smooth out the forehead. Decrease the space between the eyebrows. No tension in the jaw, so checking the teeth are separated. Tongue resting heavy in the roof of the mouth. Another 2 deep breaths in and out. And slowly coming out. So if you have your blocks, slightly lifting off the sacrum off the block so you have the space to remove it. Slowly rolling down off your wheel. Having to lie down on your backs, pick your strap on. And take a little supine twist. So keep the left leg extended. Bring the right knee into chest. Right arm out to the side, and then using your left hand on the outside of the right knee. Bringing the knee down to the floor. Sending your gaze, so looking to your right hand. Really breathing into that space in the lower back, across the back of the hip. Breathing deeply, releasing and letting go. And seeing with every exhale whether the right knee can come a little closer and closer down to the floor. So keep that knee nice and high. And if you want to, you can even extend the leg, straightening out the leg. Just intensify the stretch. So holding onto the foot. Let's take 5 more breaths here. One more breath in. Slow breath out. Bending the knee and taking it over to the other side. So straighten the right leg this time. Left knee into chest with the right hand. Left hand extends to the side. So twisting over to the right with the left knee. Look to your left hand to keep that left arm and shoulder glued down, but let it lift. So work with your exhale to bring the knee closer and closer down. Move slowly. Don't force it. Use the breath. Exhaling, releasing, exhaling, letting go. If it feels possible for you, then extend and stretch the left leg. Doesn't have to be straight, just as much as you can manage. Keep it here for another few breaths. And then make this one the last one. Releasing the foot, releasing the knee, coming back to center. Hug your knees into chest. We'll rock side to side first. And then a little rock and roll. So making sure your spine is nice and curved. So drawing your chin to your chest. Making a C shape with the spine. C shape forwards. Little self-massage. And then come up. Popping yourself back to sit on a block. Holding the left leg in, the right leg on top. So stacking the knees, Gomukhasana pose. Reaching the right arm up, so use the strap if you know that you can't reach the hands together. So use the strap to hold onto behind you. Otherwise clasping the hands. So this arm, the upper arm, will want to push against the head, so pull the arm away to allow the neck to be nice and long and tall, so you're not sitting askew. So sitting up nice and straight. Engaging into the abdominal area, keeping the spine nice and supported. Exhale, folding over the legs. Now, if you can't fold completely forward, then take a cushion onto your lap and fold onto your cushion. So not everybody can reach their chest and belly down onto the legs. Make a cushion on the legs for that. Take a cushion there. Focusing on the releasing exhales. Quiet more breath. Two more. Last one. Belly back up. Release the arms and switch sides. So left hand up this time. Arm away from the head, crown of the head, reaching up, nice tall long spine. Nice breath in, and then exhale, hinging from your hip creases to fall forwards, either onto the legs or onto your cushion again. Mindful breath. Last one. Inhale, coming up. Releasing the arms. Don't know if you feel a little bit warmer, but for some reason that one makes me feel really warm. So over to the wall now. I'm going to take a little quad stretch using the wall. So take some cushioning for the knees. So padding up under the knees. So we've done this one before. You take one knee back to wall. So padding up under the foot. If you need to, if you have the bony tops of your feet. And then bringing the other foot, stepping that foot forwards. So padding up under the knee, obviously, that you're leaning on. And then slowly coming up with the body. Slowly bringing the chest back to the wall. Now do this in little increments if you need to. A bit more padding under the knee. So I'm going to reset. So the foot, the bent leg foot is pushing into your bottom or towards it anyway. So breathing gently to offer the chest, shoulders back towards the wall. Feeling that deep stretch in your left quadricep. Quadriceps, full quads, obviously full muscles. Hold it here for another 5 breaths. So we work into that space in the front of the leg. One more nice deep breath in and out. And then switching sides. Now you might notice that one leg is different to the other. Could be old injuries. Dominant side, tight muscles, more on one leg than the other. For me, this leg, left leg bends a lot more than my right. I have many issues in my knees. So work with what you have. There's no judgment, no comparison. Just work to the spaces that you have, that you can make. Your body, listen to your body's feedback. Keeping the chest nice and open, lifting the crown of head up to the sky, so working nice and upright. Breathe into the thigh. Let's take another 5 breaths here. This is a really super duper stretch for the front of the legs. One more long breath in and out. Taking a breath in, slowly coming out, taking yourself into Virasana, Hero's Pose, and then we're going to take it down to Supta Virasana. So have a cushion, block, bolster, whatever you need to land onto as you fold yourself backwards. So knees hip distance apart. And take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. And even push out the fleshiness of the calves. And then onto the elbows as you lean back. This might be where you stop. That's okay. Or landing the back onto your cushions. If your back is down and your arms are free, then you can clasp opposite elbows. Reaching the arms overhead. Breathing deeply, feeling the belly rise and fall. If you feel and experience any sharp pains in your knees, then come out. Stay here if you can for another 5 breaths. If you have to sit back up, then just sit back up in your hero's pose, but propping underneath the bottom to give your hips a little bit height if you're feeling a little bit into the knees, any discomfort in the knees. Another 3 breaths. Last one, in and out. Elbows down, push into the elbows, lift the chest, then wiggle the elbows back. Then hands go down where the elbows were, so you can push using the strength of the arms. Bring yourself back over. Now I'm going to take some variations in pigeon. Just give your legs a little shake out. Give a little kindness to the knee, a little massage of the knees. Okay, we're going back over to the wall. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, we are. So we're going to do a little pigeon against the wall. Take your blocks with you. So you're going to place yourself into pigeon pose. But we're going to lift the back knee up onto the blocks. So you're in a pigeon. So you're folding the left leg underneath you, folding forwards. So your right leg is lifted onto your blocks, pushing the shin and foot into the wall. This is a slightly more leaning forward, weighted into, so you have a deeper stretch into your left hip. So take a cushion or your blanket for your head, make a nice pillow for it. You're taking your hips as square facing forward, so you're twisting to the side. Really breathing into that space, into this left hip. Take another 3 breaths and then we'll switch sides. Okay, switching sides. So now it's the turn of the left leg to fold in underneath. The left shin against the wall, foot pointing up. So making sure your hips are facing forwards. Then folding down over the front leg. Make a pillow, either with the hands or with your cushions, your blocks, your blanket. Feeling a nice stretch now into the right hip. Another 3 breaths. And then take the leg up. Now we're going to come into a full lizard. With a few variations again. So this one, let's start with a standard pigeon. So you're reaching your left leg back, right leg up. Check your hips facing forwards. Wiggle the left foot up. And if you need to, if you feel that you're starting to roll to the side, then take a cushion or a block underneath the right hip. Folding down. So this is pigeon, just standard pigeon. We're going to do some other lizards. Three more breaths. Then we're going to stay on this side. Take ourselves into lizard pose. So inhaling, coming up. So stepping now the right foot forwards, keeping the left leg extended. Turn out of the right foot. So taking your elbows down. Just try to relax into the head, maybe use a cushion if you feel you want to let the head hang, or have the head placed on your cushion just to relax the head and neck. So hold this here for another couple of breaths. And then taking one of your blocks, Take a block. Then take your front foot onto a block and bring the elbows down again. Three more breaths. So choosing to either stay here with the foot on one block, and then we'll go with the foot, 2 blocks. So mindfully, carefully stepping the foot onto the block, ensure it's stable. Elbows go back down. So breathing deeply, so we're working a little bit deeper now into the hip flexors. Three more breaths. One little breath in. Push into the hands. Take your foot off the blocks. We have a little half split next. So stepping your right leg forwards. You're underneath. You have your left knee folded underneath your left hip. Folding over the right leg. Reach your arms forwards. Try to relax the upper body. So working a little bit down to the hamstring of the right leg. And then sending your weight forwards and backwards a few times. And having a little go at a split if you feel like you want to take yourself into a full split. So sliding the right leg forwards, placing a block or a cushion underneath the right thigh. So propping yourself up. You can use some blocks to push into for the hands. Do a little lift and squeeze. Done this before, you know, squeeze the legs towards each other. Really squeeze, 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 like you're trying to slide the feet towards each other. Push into the blocks. Release down. Release the weight. Do that 2 more times. So hold for 4 or 5 seconds. And then release down. 1 more time. Really squeeze. And then if you want to take the block away. Hold it here for a few more breaths. And then sliding the leg back in. Let's take our pigeon over the other side now. Left leg forward, right leg back. So pointing the hips forwards and then folding down over your left leg. If you feel yourself dropping down to the side, prop up the left hip a little bit. Two more breaths. Inhaling, coming up. To lift. Turning the foot out. 45 degrees, come down with your elbows. Make sure your Right leg is pointing directly backwards. Let the head hang heavy. Two more breaths. And then taking your foot onto one block at the front. So starting to elevate the foot one block at a time. So listen to the feedback of your body. If one block is enough or one block is one block too many, then take the blocks away. Just offering you little switches and changes. Take another block if you feel you have. That's okay in the back, in the glute, in the back of the leg. Onto 2 blocks. So we're really opening up into the groin, really strong into the hip flexors, into the glutes, into the hamstring. So really breathe deeply into all those places where you feel tightness. Two more breaths. Coming up. Come off your blocks. Into low half split. The left foot forwards. Lift and lengthen, then fold over the leg. Reach the arms forwards. Relax into the head. Three more breaths. And then a little forwards and backwards. And sliding the left foot forwards, take a prop for underneath the back of the left thigh. Wiggle the foot forwards. Won't slip on it, not slip that way. Lifting up. And taking the blocks. Use your blocks, push into the blocks, squeeze and lift. So you're trying to drive the feet towards each other. Then release down. A couple more times. I can notice my left hamstring is really, really tight today. No idea why. Just this. It's just the way it is. And then seeing where you're at. If you want to remove your cushion. Hold here for a few breaths if you can. And then legs forwards into, oops, caught up on my lap. Legs forwards. And forward fold. We are nearly at the end now. Give your legs a shake out. Cushion on your legs. Another cushion for the head or a block. So lift and lengthen. Exhale, reaching forwards. So you can use a strap under the feet. If you can't reach beyond the feet, or to the feet, should I say. So find a comfortable yin Paschimottanasana. Enjoy the forward folding sensation. So forehead into your cushions. Make yourself really comfortable. Let's take another 3 breaths here, and then we're going to do something with the arms. So you're going to take the arms into prayer, and then you're going to prop your elbows up onto a cushion or a block. So take a cushion a little bit further along the legs, so you can place the elbows on there. And folding the fingertips back, so you're pointing the fingertips behind you. Breathe deeply. Three more breaths. Make the exhales really long. Let go fully. Last one. Slowly releasing, coming up. A little twist just for 5 breaths. A little twist to the side. And to the other side. And then we're going to take our legs up. So you can take your blanket back down onto your mat. And take your strap around your legs to keep your legs together. The thighs. If you have a heavy cushion, you can be placing that onto your feet. So you're going to roll down onto your backs. And then have your weighted cushion or heavy cushion onto your feet. So it's applying a little bit of pressure to the feet, down the legs. Now hold this here for a minute or two. So think of the blood circulating, the heart having to pump the blood against gravity up the legs. So this is really great for your circulation. Also for any drainage, lymph drainage. For the blood pressure as we're working against gravity. So steady focus, steady breath. Super long exhale. Let's take 10 more breaths like this. Keeping the eyes closed, really focus on the breath. Five more. Last full breath in and out. Slowly bringing your knees down towards your chest, grabbing hold of your cushion, weighted cushion. Strap comes off, hug the knees into your little happy baby. Little rock from side to side, so putting the feet down nice and firmly as though you're trying to bring the knees to the floor. And then you choose your Shavasana position. So propping up the backs of the knees with a cushion or two or a bolster if you have one. Take a pillow under the head. If you have a little towel or something, you can place that over the eyes. So arms away from the body, or if you feel that you enjoy the connection to your heart and your abdomen with your hands on your body, then placing your hands there. Closing the eyes and starting to relax and melt the body, sinking the body heavily into the floor. So really fully letting go. With every breath out, giving your body permission to let go. Every muscle, every tendon, ligament, organ in the body, softly relaxing, softly releasing, softly letting go. So making sure the muscles of the face are relaxed. Forehead, the brow, around the eye area, the cheek, the jaw, the lips, all relaxed. Teeth separated, tongue resting heavy, eyes resting heavy and still in their socket. Relaxing the throat, relaxing the scalp, back of the neck, down and across the shoulder, relaxing into the upper arms, the lower arms, forearms, wrists, and hands and fingers. The arms fully relaxed. Chest and abdomen, body relaxed. Upper back, lower back, sacrum, glutes, hips, groin, release and letting go. Relaxing into the thighs, the hamstring, backs of the knee, fronts of the knee, shins, calves, ankles, feet and toes. Fully letting the legs relax, the whole body heavy, every point of contact with the floor, sinking into the floor. Imagine you're lying on warm sand. The warm sand is supporting your body as you imprint your body to the sand. Just feeling the flow of the breath like the waves of the sea, lapping at the shore, flowing in, flowing out. Maybe imagining that sound of the water just gently caressing the shoreline. Maybe feeling the cool breeze over your body, keeping you the perfect temperature. Generating a picture of pure bliss, joy, peace, and really formulate that picture. See it in your mind and feel it in your body. Allow yourself to fully relax and let go. Just be fully present in this moment. Just allowing the breath to flow in and out without having to force it in any way. Just notice how it can do that all by itself. Just observe the gratitude and wonder, miracle of life. Staying here and just listening to the sounds of the bowl. Just the gentle vibrating sound. Let them wash over you. Imagine the sound, the vibrating sound, is massaging your whole body, every cell, every organ, every system, tuning in. Relaxing deeply. So I thought I'd just read from my book. And today's entry is Weather the Storm. Storms come, the lightning flashes, thunder rolls. Sometimes hail pounds so loudly and incessantly it becomes frightening. Sometimes storms do change, but storms are not forever. Just as nature plays out her storms, sometimes with violence, sometimes with grey days, sometimes with a gentle cleansing rain. We have storms in our lives, storms in our soul. Storms are part of life, part of growth, part of the journey. Light a candle, wrap warm. Make yourself safe and secure. Wait for the storm to pass. It will. Let peace return. Let security return. Let joy and meaning come back. The certain faith that you have purpose and your life is on track. Slowly wiggling your fingers and toes. Stretching your arms, stretching your legs. And then when you're ready, rolling over gently onto your right side and then coming up into Sukhasana. Keep the eyes closed. So coming to a nice straight spine, seated position. Feel the crown of the head reaching up to the sky. Open up the heart and chest. And then bring your hands together, gently rub the hands together. Warming up the hands, charging up the hands with energy. And turning the palms of the hands up towards the sky. Feel the energy, your electromagnetic force in the palms of your hands. And then taking the hands together, Manjari to your heart center. Slowly lowering your head down towards your fingertips to honor yourself, to honor your practice, generating peace and joy, generating gratitude and love. The light in me honors the light in me. Namaste, friends. Have a wonderful Sunday and hopefully you feel stretched out. Thank you for joining me. See you tomorrow. I'll post everything for our group for the next week ahead. Thanks guys. See you soon. Lots of love.